Hello everyone, welcome back to my hero. This is my hero that I'm doing with only KMS gear, so like no Gollux, no commerci, no kanna treasure ring, all that jazz. I'm going to jump in here and immediately talk about some changes to my node setup. You'll notice I'm only using one boost node here, or one set of boost nodes. The second set of boost nodes are just not that useful compared to things like decent combat orders, which is actually really useful for hero. It's like 10 FD. And then other ones are pretty standard, but there were some things I didn't realize were quite as important as they were, and the second set of boost nodes is less important than I thought. So anyway, let's go into Lotus. I'll talk more about other things like how this project is going and why I'm doing it throughout the boss fight. So we're doing normal Lotus here. You'll notice I'm in practice mode. I've talked about this a little bit in previous videos, but I'm doing this in kind of a sort of solo progression, but not really, like fake solo progression. So I'm the way that I'm going about doing this, and I'll show my gear at the end of this Lotus fight, but I'm like not using gear that I would get from Lotus or Damien, so abso gear, until I've beat the boss, basically. But I'm saying beat the boss like in practice mode or something. It's totally fine. So in this video, I'm just using CRA gear and some penciliers and like a tyrant cape and whatever. Again, I'll show it at the end of the Lotus section, but that's why I'm in practice mode, is because otherwise I was trading carries and stuff to get some abso pieces quicker on this character. For phase 1 here, I'm doing what I just saw there, what you just saw there, which is trying to optimize DPM a little bit by using the iframe to kind of jump across a few times. Here, unfortunately, I get kind of caught with that falling appearing right there. So I do die, and I do kind of take the coward's way out here, and I just wait for burst to come back up while I'm dead for an easy burst out of phase 1. Not maybe the cleanest start to Lotus, but this is the only death I take in this fight after getting roasted by my friends for my terrible CRA runs that I was doing in my last video. Anyway, I tried to actually get some decent Lotus and Damien clears here. Anyway, in general, I'm decently happy with the setup I'm using and how I played in these. There's obviously mistakes. I'm still getting used to the class in a number of ways. Notably, you'll notice that I completely forget basically throughout most of the fight to use the puncture debuff. So puncture is a skill that for hero gives like basically a 25% damage debuff. It's 10% for the party and 25% for hero, I think, if I'm remembering the numbers right. And I just basically forget to use it almost the entire fight. I remember it like a couple times, but so still not perfect play by any means, but it's okay. You'll notice me kind of figuring out a few things at this fight that I'll try to point out. But in general, I'm pretty happy with how this has gone. I was really expecting Lotus and Damien to kind of take more progression to get to or something. I should have known, like, I mentioned this in the last video too, but this is like a very progressed account. I think in this video I was still just under 9k Legion, but the account still now is 9k Legion and like full links obviously. That just helps a ton for these early bosses. Lets you get very quickly to where you're clearing stuff, even with pretty minimal gear. Like I still have 2 empty ring slots, and yeah, I mean, this boss was easier than I expected, is what I'm trying to say, in terms of damage. It just is mainly just me being forgetful. Like I have like Lomian mules and stuff that aren't that much more geared than this, that like kill the bosses very quickly. So I should have like kind of known that this was going to be fine. But here, like, I'm not using guild skills, I'm just green pot only type of deal, and the boss fight's like totally reasonable, which is nice. Speaking of green pot only, I am at attack speed 1 in this video for anyone curious. I'm using that two-handed axe, and I don't have the attack speed 1 I did end up rolling that later, so you'll see that in future videos. But for this video, I'm just at attack speed 1, which isn't actually that bad for hero. For anyone who's really curious about the numbers, I like to talk about the numbers in this game a lot. But I believe, and I hope I'm correct here, that at attack speed 2, hero's main attack is 600 millisecond delay, so like 0.6 seconds per attack. At attack speed 1, it's 540 milliseconds, and at attack speed 0, it's 510. So the difference between attack speed 0 and attack speed 1 is like much smaller. It's 510 to 540 versus attack speed 1 to attack speed 2 is, 540 up to 600. So like that one's pretty noticeable, but getting down to attack speed 0, you do notice it, but it's like not that bad. Anyway, at some point, I think in that last burst there, I was reminded that when I got pushed and didn't go anywhere, that during burst, hero has super stance. So from the skill that's on my like 4 button there, I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but it gives you super stance for like 40 seconds or something, 30 seconds, I don't know. So you'll see me take advantage of that in future bursts, but I'd completely forgotten how useful that would be in Lotus, because you can just sit there and tank a few pushes, and like as long as you're good on HP, you're totally good. You can just do that. It's pretty nice. Otherwise, I'll take some time here to talk about the non-GMS gear meta so far. Up to this stage in the game, it's very easy to do non-GMS gear. I've done that for all my boss meals basically, like no Gollux or commerci or anything. Mostly just because it's like quicker to get other things. You just kill the boss once type of deal. Get the drop and move on with your day, as opposed to Gollux you just have to do daily. Until you either get drops or if you're getting coins, whatever. So up until this point, I haven't really noticed anything, and I don't really expect to notice anything until maybe when we get to like hard Lotus, hard Damien levels of funding. But up until even like normal slime, easy lucid, I assume even normal lucid, but I haven't done that one yet. It's very approachable to just use KMS gear. It helps a lot that I am, playing hero, which benefits a lot from going below attack speed 2. And I am using a couple 15% IED familiars in this video. So I do have some extra sources of damage over what KMS has, but it still is very approachable. So we'll see how that develops in the future, but I mean, for now, it's not too bad, which again, I should have been expecting since do that for the boss meals anyway. But yeah, for anyone looking to do boss meals or something and taking inspiration from this at all, I would say yeah, it's very easy to get to easy normal Lomian funding with just KMS gear. If you're lazy like me and don't want to do Gollux trading or whatever for funding boss meals up. I think that's most of what I want to talk about for this fight at least, so I'll kind of sit back, and if there's something that I'm doing that I feel is worth explaining or commenting on, I'll do so, but otherwise I'll probably let this play out a bit more until next burst is when we kill, so just a couple minutes, and then we'll show off the gear, and then we'll head over to Damien. So I'll catch up with you guys in a couple minutes. Here we're gearing up for the last burst. Here's a moment where we say, boy, thank goodness for iframes. And then yeah, we get ready for this burst. You'll notice me just tanking a bunch of pushes here. As I mentioned earlier, we're super stands so we can just keep attacking, get a bind off, and that's all it takes for Lotus. And we're out. So yeah, I don't change any of my gear between this Lotus and Damien, but after this, for the next video, you'll see more slime. We do put in abso gear in the shoulder and weapon and gloves and boots and cape slots. So yeah, I'm mousing over all my gear here. As you can see, it's mainly like, you know, 12, 15 star stuff or whatever the max star is for these low star things, and show like one line potentials, often at epic. Pretty approachable. We're hopping over to Damien here, but I don't think I have much to comment on in this fight, so I'll mostly just kind of let it ride here. If you have any questions you want me to answer, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I can respond just by text, or maybe talk about it in the next video or whatever, depending on what I'm feeling. But yeah, Damien's generally a pretty straightforward fight once you know the mechanics. I try to optimize damage a little bit with some of my iframes, but it's to maybe mixed success sometimes. So yeah, hope you enjoy, and I'll probably mostly check in at the end, and yeah, enjoy some good hardcore bossing here. Maple at its purest, you know? Right here I try to be a little cute and get a cleanse off, but I just miss space and die, so that was great. That is my only death, so whatever. That's fine. We'll just take that one, I guess, and move on with our lives. Look at this sneaky little cleanse I get in here. Ooh, ooh. Gaming, wow. With the deep Damien mechanics. I'm sure you're all dying to learn about them right there. I should have commented on this earlier, but because I don't have that skill I just used there, it's on my S, Rising Rage. I don't have that noted anymore because I'm just doing the one node slot thing, and so it's not worth using. I learned that it's not ever worth using on burst, but since it's not noted, it's not worth using off burst, like off cooldown, like I was in some of my earlier videos. I used it a couple times in Damien here, like especially when he's in the air and I can't hit him otherwise, but I mean it's doing very little damage, so because it's not noted, but that's fine. But anyway, if you're wondering why I'm not using it or why it's there, that's why. I'll use it once I level this character a bit more and can put in some more nodes, then we'll use it more then. But for now, it's just there on my keyboard basically. Here we will, that attack, if any of you haven't seen that before, just before on the right side I saw him go transparent, but I could see the boss outline, and that's how you know to will, and then you don't get, you don't have to do the like left-right thing like you normally do when Damien does that attack. It's a nice little trick. You need boss outlines on to do it, but it's worth learning about and playing around with because it can save a lot of time. I keep trying to use my iframe to hit him when he's up there, but I think I'm like not jumping high enough, so I think it's actually useless that I'm doing that, but whatever. Who cares? You barely need an iframe in Damien anyway. I get kind of wrecked on this bind. I don't know. I kind of panic bound and then I have to deal with the blue balls. It's a bit of a disaster of a burst, so if you're looking for how to play part 2, don't do what I just did there. Would have been nice to get a clean burst out here, but it's okay. We get it pretty close, and we'll get it down in just a few seconds here. Taking a lot of curses here right at the end, just trying to get my final hits in. And we get it. And that's Lomian on the hero. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next vid for normal slime. Take that down. Good gains. Wow. See ya.